All right. What's going on, people? What's going on, my beautiful people? It's your boy Knowledge with the Knowledge here, Universally Alkaline, bathing with them soaps and oils. You already know what I came here to do. You already know what time it is. Shoot. Same way Mr. Roger kick his shoes off when I drop my head down, it's time to get into the work. So, today we're gonna cover aging. Normally, I cover disease and illnesses and ailments, but aging has something to do with it. Even though aging is not an illness, it is it does make the body more acceptable or vulnerable to diseases. There are many theories on aging and its causes, and some are more prominent. Some of the more prominent ones are DNA, uh, neuroendocrine, free radical, or what's known as oxidation, cross-linking, immune theories, telomere theory, stem cell theory, cell metabolics. So let me give you a little breakdown on each one of them. So your genetic theory, or your DNA genetic theory, rather. The DNA in our bodies contain a genetic blueprint, which we inherit from our parents and ancestors. I repeat, we inherit from our parents and and ancestors. This is a unique code which determines the number of factors affecting age. Uh, Things that happen during our lifetime that damage the DNA, such as exposure to pollutants, toxins, radiation, our diet, uh, and many other environmental and lifestyle factors can affect the ability of our body to repair damage. This genetic damage can cause the production of abnormal proteins and sugar protein complexes, which leads to defective cell repair and loss of cell elasticity and other symptoms of the aging process. Okay, now your neuroendocrine theory, which is the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus, a structure which is a structure in the brain, but it regulates the release of key hormones to influence cell metabolism, and things like protein synthesis, immune function, and biochemical functioning of all bodily cells. The theory is that the hypothalamus over time loses its ability to regulate all these functions. The secretion of hormones gradually decrease over time, and this deterioration in the regulatory and hormone production process leads to aging. For instance, the decline of the polypeptide hormone insulin like growth factor, or what's known as IGF-1, is linked to a decline in cell activity. IGF-1 is a liver-produced product in the human growth factor, or what's known as HGH, that is secreted by the pituitary gland. So, research shows that the IGF-1 increases insulin sensitivity. It increases lean body mass, it reduces fat, and builds bone, muscle, and nerves. So, one of the IGF-1's greatest feats is the ability to repair the peripheral nerve tissue that has been damaged. Now you have your free radical or your oxidation theory. This theory asserts that unrepaired cumulative cell damage is caused by free radicals generated by normal metabolism, um, and contributed by outside sources. Uh, is the cause of aging. Outside factors in the environment, such as exposure to toxins, pollutants, radiation, alcohol, and tobacco, as well as your diet, cause highly reactive cell byproducts called free radicals to be formed. These free radicals are molecules or portions of molecules capable of independent existence. Because they have an odd number of electrons, because your electrons normally occur in pairs and not an odd number. You know what I'm saying? On some Three's Company. But they are unstable and react quickly with other compounds trying to capture a needed electron to gain stability. Uh, when an attack molecule loses an electron to a free radical, it becomes a free radical itself. This process can cascade and to cause disruption in living cells. Only when two free radicals react together do they eliminate the other. Do they eliminate each other rather, and stop the process. Of special interest in agent are the oxygen free radicals, which often take an electron away from another molecule to pair with a single free electron. This process is called oxidation. Toxic metabolites can accumulate and interfere with the function of cell membranes, protein synthesis, and the cellular DNA/RNA itself. Cell energy production is adversely affected, which accelerates the aging process. The vitamin C and E, along with other antioxidants, are thought to protect against destructive effects of free radicals by donating one of their electrons to the end of the cascading reaction. These nutrients are stable even in this state. In effect, they act as scavengers, helping to protect against cell and tissue damage. Um, Cross-linking, which is another theory. We're gonna have a few theories when it come down to this agent that I'm gonna go through real quick. Cross-linking. Uh, During normal metabolism, sugars such as glucose or fructose, and reactive compounds known as alkalides and ketones may attach to free amino groups on proteins. This process is called glycation. And the protein is then saddled with a sugar molecule. This protein can react or cross-link with other proteins to cause a bond between the two. The resulting so-called carbonyl groups act as a glue to attach the two proteins. Carbonyls are formed when a sugar or free radical with amino acids on a protein, reacts with amino acids on a protein. It is possible to have not only protein cross-linking, but protein lipid and protein DNA cross-linking. The cross-linking results in large aggregates of damaged proteins within the tissues called advanced glycosylation end products, or what's known as AG or AGE, age. These may go on to react with free radicals to cause tissue damage through oxidation. They inhibit certain cellular processes. They can be mutagenic, which is cancer causing, and they stimulate cells to produce even more damaging free radicals. AGEs also act to accelerate cell death. Thus, treatment to both inhibit cross-linking and reverse it, if possible, should be beneficial to combat the aging process. Because we all want to continue to look young as we get older. Then you have the immune theory, in which the immune system gradually gets less effective as we age. For instance, the thymus gland, which is responsible for the production of the thymic lipid or T cells, can decrease its function by up to 80% as we reach our middle years. As we age, the immune system is less able to produce the antibodies, the macrophages, the natural killer cells, and others that the body needs to fight off infections and other assaults from the outside. There is also an increased tendency to produce antibodies against the body itself. The autoimmune response, which is responsible for a host of autoimmune diseases. Then we have the telomere theory, which cells in the bodies are replaced by means of cell division, and there is a limit to the number of times that it may divide successfully. That is, most cells normally divide approximately 50 times before they stop dividing and die a natural death. It's theorized that the mechanism that controls the cell division lies within the telomere, which is a cap-like structure on the end of each 23 pairs of chromosomes. Chromosomes are the helical structures of DNA that are found in the cell nuclei that carry out genetic code. Every time a cell divides, the telomere shortens up a bit. This is constant shortening of the telomere means that after a certain number of divisions, the telomere disappears. And the end of the chromosome begins to fray and stop dividing. This leads eventually to the death of the cell. Over time, this accumulative death leads to aging. However, an enzyme called telomerase has been discovered. This enzyme acts to repair the damage to the telomere and helps to maintain its length and stability. The theory is that using telomerase may be able to prolong cell life and slow down and or even reverse the aging process. But for now, we know that certain controllable factors like smoking, obesity, low vitamin D levels, and stress has been linked to telomere attrition. Disease such as heart disease and diabetes can also speed up telomere shortening, but this process is slow with good medical management, such as by keeping blood cholesterol and blood sugar close to your normal levels. Then you have your stem cell theory, which is a theory that holds. This theory holds that as we age, we begin to lose stem cells from the reserve we are granted at birth. This also means that the body ability to repair and generate tissues is diminished. And we accumulate more and more dysfunctional cells as time passes. Aging is simply the accumulation of these dysfunctional cells and the damage they cause to skin, organs, and the immune system, the muscles, and every other system in the body can only be undone by the addition of new stem cells. That's why stem cells has been the biggest thing over like the last 20 years. You know, stem cell therapy, and a lot of the guys in Hollywood and shit are into stem cell therapies to keep themselves looking young. I know some bodybuilders personally who are into stem cell therapy. And you know they do it. They're up in age. They're in their 50s and 60s, but they look just as young as I do, and I'm only 36. Then you have your cell metabolic theory. Nutrition has an effect on the rate which cells divide. Like I say, that I just covered that in the telomere theory. Caloric restriction has been shown in one animal study to increase lifespan by affecting the cell division rate. In another study, it was concluded that caloric restriction primarily slowed the aging process by an associated decrease in oxygen-free radicals produced by the mitochondria. No human studies have been conducted to the date yet, though. Now, so whatever theory of aging ultimately proves to be correct, and probably there are a number of factors which in combination will eventually be found to have a profound effect, it is unquestionably true that a significant number of problems faced by people over the age of 60 may also be attributed or maybe also be attributable to nutritional deficiencies. A lot of us are nutritionally deficient. Um, Speaking of deficiencies, one is vitamin B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 deficiency, which is a particular problem. Lack of vitamin B12 can lead to the development of neurological symptoms ranging from tingling sensations, excuse me, the inability to coordinate muscular movements, weakened limbs, and lack of balance to memory loss, mood changes, disorientation, and bear with me, psychiatric disorders. Symptoms of B12 deficiency can easily be misinterpreted as signs of salinity. Folic acid is also related to the level of cognition in the elderly. Low folate levels were indicators of cognitive decline with aging and contribute to the development of Alzheimer's disease. Vitamin E is an important nutrient, but in one study, doses of 300 IUs per day, it did not have an effect on memory in elderly women. It's possible that this amount was too low to create a benefit. So if you are taking vitamin E, take more than 300 IUs per day if you want to see an effect. Um, let's see. I got some herbs for you too. But adding adding the right supplement should give you the added power needed to boost immunity and prevent or cure most disorders. Not to mention making you able to work or play longer than people much younger than you. You ever notice that some of us older guys, we get out and we can outrun our kids, or we can outrun these guys on the basketball court, or me, I can outlift these young guys in the gym any day, all day, every day. Um, Looking youthful for your age is an added bonus. But remember, it takes years for these problems to develop, so it usually takes some time to resolve them as well. Now you did. There is no silver bullets or magic potions. Only the simple fact that if you give your body the correct fuel, if you give your body the correct fuel, it will perform for you and ward off illnesses. Supplements work best in combination with a nutrient-rich diet that contains plenty of protein and regular exercise. Um, Elderly people have shown to benefit from including pomegranate juice into their diet instead of apple juice for better antioxidant protection. In addition, those who include chocolate, wine, tea better performed on tests on memory and cognition. Uh, let's see. We give you some herbs real quick. So herb wise, you got echinacea, or what's known as echinacea root, which can help boost the immune system. Um, Bilberry and ginseng are good for giving extra energy, also improving brain function, increasing circulation, and promoting better blood flow to supply oxygen to the cells. Bilberry also protects your eyes. See, yeah, nearsighted like me, I don't wear glasses all the time. I normally wear contacts, but bilberry, yeah. Burdock root and red clover, which cleanses the bloodstream. They can use separately, or you can use them in a combination. They work fine as a team. Dandelion root and milk thistle promotes good liver function and your bile flow. Garlic helps immune function and protects the heart. Um, Ginkgo biloba has powerful antioxidant properties and increases the supply of oxygen to the brain cells, balancing the brain function. Green tea aids in cancer prevention and is a powerful antioxidant. Honestly, I start my morning with a cup of green tea. Sometimes 2 cups of green tea because I just like it so much. But also, side note, your herbs are best to take first thing in the morning when you rise up. Uh, Noni, or what's known as noni juice. Uh, It's a plant that grows in Hawaii, but the fruit has many health benefits and has been used for thousands of years to ease pain and inflammation, relieve joint problems, promote cellular regeneration, boost the immune system, and improve digestion. One brand is called Earth Bounty Noni, which is a good source of the herb. Kava Kava, St. John's wort, and valerian root are valuable as sleep aids. Because sleep, you need enough sleep. And as a, and valuable and is valuable as a tranquilizer. St. John's wort is also a natural antidepressant because stress also has an effect on aging as well. Um, Licorice root is an effective anti-inflammatory and anti-allergenic agent that supports the organ systems. Uh, Nettle is full of vital minerals and is a good hypoglycemia. Is good for hypoglycemia, allergies, arthritis, depression, prostate and urinary tract disorders, and it covers a host of other problems. Saw palmetto aids in preventing cancer, and for men for men improving benign, which is non-cancerous prostate enlargement. It inhibits the production of dihydrotestosterone, a hormone that contributes to the enlargement of the prostate. Speaking of prostate and colon stuff, rest in power, Chadwick Boseman. He had a 4-year battle with colon cancer. Men, fellas, my guys, my gods, my G's, saw palmetto should be a herb in your toolbox, in your arsenal as we get older. Um, Wild yam, which contains natural steroids that have a rejuvenating effect. Once again, you want to continue to build muscle as you get older. Wild yam contains natural steroids that have a rejuvenating effect. Steroids are what help exercise to melt off more weight and to build more muscle. This hormone is found in the human body as dihydropion testosterone, or what's known as DHEA. Take larger amounts, between like up to 2,400 milligrams, drop into 1,600 milligrams daily for 2 weeks, and then stop for 2 weeks. Like, if you know anything about steroids, do it in a cycle. Couple weeks on, couple weeks off, couple weeks on, couple weeks off. But this way, you don't have to worry about none of the damaging side effects that your typical steroids give off, like your kidney damage, heart enlargement, and all that other stuff. I'll do another video covering like natural muscle builders. So, some recommendations: eat a balanced diet that includes raw vegetables, fruits, grains, seeds, nuts, and quality protein such as fish. Consume less animal protein, include in your diet broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, spinach, kale, fish, fruits, whole grains, nuts, oats, seeds. Avoid processed foods. Eat dark-skinned fruits such as red apples and nectarines. They are a good source of bioflavonoids. The skin contains the bioflavonoids, so leave it on. I'm talking about just eat it. I don't know how to pause this. How long? I gotta take a phone call. We live. Hello. Hey. Grand Rising. Cutting the video real quick. So, our phone conversations for to be on this video. All right, give me about I'm about done. Give me about 5-10 minutes. Let me get you right back. Okay. All right. as I said, eat dark-skinned fruits. Sorry about that, people. Eat dark-skinned fruits such as red apples and nectarines, which are a good source of bioflavonoids. The skin contains bioflavonoids, so leave the skin on. Red Delicious and McIntosh apples have the most bioflavonoids in the skin. The Northern Spy has the most in its flesh. And your Fuji apples have the highest overall of the bioflavonoids. Um, Eat blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries regularly. Wild blueberries contain more bioflavonoids than domestic varieties. Bioflavonoids found in most fruits and vegetables keep free radicals from harming the brain and protect against Alzheimer's disease. Black, green, and orange picotees. They all contain bioflavonoids called catechins. Green tea contains the most and is an antioxidant effective against preventing degenerative brain disease. Like I say, I start my morning. I rise up drinking at least 2 cups of tea. So, um, also eat 80 to 100 grams of protein a day. Uh, Meeting out evenly at 3 meals and 2 to 3 snacks. Protein along with exercise is important to prevent muscle wasting. Uh, Sarcopenia is a disease of muscle wasting that leads to profound weakness and affects elderly people who do not consume enough adequate protein or get enough exercise. That is becoming a more prevalent condition as people live longer. Consume 4 to 5 small meals daily. A lot of people don't eat enough. They eat too little, or they try and wait and combine it into one big meal, and that's not necessarily a good way of going about it. Also, a low-calorie diet is best for maintaining good health as you age. Eat only when you're hungry, and consume foods that are fresh and cooked in a fashion that maintains their nutritional content. A diet too high in carbs may increase glucose levels, decrease your overall food consumption, but increase the intake of raw foods. Avoid gaining and losing weight, which can result in the loss of lean tissue or what's known as muscle. The loss of lean muscle tissue in elderly could perpetuate sarcopenia. However, excess body fat increases the risk of heart disease and diabetes, especially in the elderly. Weight loss will reduce these risks. If you're over 60, um, at the try and drop some weight. Uh, Consume steam distilled water. Drink even when you don't feel thirsty. Your body needs plenty of water. Dehydration has been identified as one of the most frequent causes of hospitalization among people over the age of 65. According to a recent study, common symptoms of dehydration include fatigue, headache, dry nasal passages, dry, cracked lips, and overall discomfort. Also, include in your diet garlic, onions, shiitake mushrooms, and pearl barley. These foods are good sources of germanium, potassium, and other nutrients that lessen free radical damage and act as catalysts and the supply of oxygen to oxygen poor tissue. On occasion, drink a glass of red wine, which is good for your heart, but limit your alcohol consumption. Cut back on your salt, avoid your saturated fats, avoid caffeine, red meat, flour, white sugar, chemical, food additives, drugs, pesticides, and tap water. Unless you got a good carbon filter system under your sink or something like that. Get regular exercise. Exercise is the most important in slowing down the aging process because it increases the amount of oxygen. It increases the amount of oxygen available to the tissues. A key determinant of energy and stamina. Brisk walking and stretching exercises are good. Swimming is even better because it provides a low impact exercise and exerts no pressure on the joints. Because as we get older, more and more pressure is put upon our joints, especially if we're carrying excess weight. Uh, For those with arthritic conditions, swimming is a very ideal exercise. Exercise can ward off conditions such as arthritis, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, osteoporosis, and because it releases endorphins into the body, exercise can also, over time, help with depression. Our brains need exercise as much as our bodies do. Bodily exercise increases the supply of oxygen to the brain. Improve your blood's oxygenation and circulation with deep breathing exercises. Try holding your breath for 30 seconds every half hour. Inhale and hold for 30 seconds. Then place your tongue on the roof of your mouth where your teeth meet your gums and release the air slowly. Repeat this exercise every day. Keep the colon clean. This is crucial for warding off degenerative diseases and slowing the aging process. Eat a high fiber diet use a cleansing enema once a week or detox. Learn to detox. Learn to fast. That will also help as well. Learn how to relax, manage your stress, keep active, and be enthusiastic about life. Keep up with your appearance, exercise every day. um get involved in hobbies and other activities that keep your mind active. Allow yourself to get sufficient sleep. Proper rest is very, very important. A lot of us are just used to being on the go and we don't take that time to get good rest. um do not use harsh soaps on your skin. Use olive oil, avocado, or olive oil to cleanse the skin. Pat the oil on, then wash it off with warm water and a soft cloth. Use a facial loofah occasionally with the oil and warm water to remove dead skin. Don't smoke or overexpose yourself to harmful chemicals. Uh, Pretty much as we age and we get older, you can't keep doing the same things you were doing 10, 15, 20 years ago. Because the body's not going to be able to keep up with that. We tend the body tends to change every 7 to 10 years. We go through a change. Um, Also some things to as you get your physicals and check up, get your blood cholesterol checked, get your blood pressure checked. Females, breast exam. You know what I'm saying? Your mammograms. You know what I'm saying? Keep it. Breast cancer is real. My mom is a 20+ year survivor now, and if you catch that early, yeah, you're prolonging your life. Uh, Guys, do not be afraid of a colonoscopy. We need it as we get closer to 40 and over. We need to get our colons checked. They say men and women 50 and over. I say 40 and over because you got to catch it early. Matter of fact, I say shoot. By the time you 37, 38, you should be looking into getting your colon checked. That way, you know for sure. You know what I'm saying? You want to catch certain things like that early. That way, you can stay ahead versus playing catch up in that race. Um, Get a physical, man. Don't be scared of getting physicals. Uh, get a complete blood count. You know what I'm saying? And blood chemistry. Get your blood worked on so you know what's going on in you, or you know what adjustments that you need to make. Women, pap smears and pelvic examinations. Uh, get your stool tested. You know what I'm saying? Test for blood in the stool. You know what I'm saying? Get that done at least once a year. Like, aging is not an illness, but it does increase one's chances of developing certain health problems. Constipation, depression, diarrhea, dizziness, heart palpitation, heartburn, and indigestion and weight gain are some of the more common complaints that accompany aging. So, like I say, man, we gotta take better care of ourselves. We just lost a young brother. When I say young, I mean young. He gave us all he had, but still gone at a very young age. And we all want to live to be older, to see our kids have kids, and, be great grand and all that, and be able to pass down knowledge and wisdom. So we gotta take care of ourselves. We gotta take care of our skins. We gotta take care of our body. We gotta take care of our mind. We gotta take care of our soul. You did. If not, we ain't doing nothing but help tear ourselves down. You know what I'm saying? We speeding up the degeneration process. You know what I'm saying? Versus continuously generating. So, with that being said, I love y'all. In the great words of Kendrick Lamar, we're gonna be alright. Scribes, share. Universally Alkaline on Facebook. Kendall Control My Universe on Facebook. You can email me at universallyalkaline@gmail.com. If you got anything, you want to get more in depth, saying that you may be dealing with. Drink water. Water is a key to a lot of this stuff. Drink water. But I love y'all guys. Until next time, knowledge with the knowledge.